be the best placement, and certainly the contractor who did provide that information to you too.
We'd like that. Okay.
Okay.
That's all I got. We probably won't join you for the rest of the meeting, as exciting as it could be. I used to sit there many years ago.
I remember. All right, thank you.
Thank you. Enjoy.
Thank you.
Okay, sounds good.
Next up, we have Jim Domino from Broadwater Community Theater requesting approval for a street dance. Mr. Domino.
Thank you, Mayor Hauser. I'm James Domino, acting president of the Board of Directors of Broadwater Community Theater, and we are respectfully requesting approval of our third annual street dance this year to be held on September 11th, Friday. The street closure is the same as the previous events we've had from Broadway to B Street from, I believe it was 5:30 to 9. And we're going to have 2 portable restrooms again. We would need 6 barricades. We will have the city listed as additional insured in our event insurance, same company that we used for the solstice dance. I believe we are going to be having the Betsy cater the event again, and they will be serving from inside the lodge as they did at the previous dance. There'll be barbecued ribs again, a full bar beer that they'll be offering. The band this year that'll be performing and featured is Cowboy Bob and the Gypsy Dust Band out of, I believe they're out of Helena, so it's a country western, country rock. They're quite a well-known band, and hoping that we can get the approval of the council for the event to move forward.
Any questions from council?
Mayor, I don't see the insurance itself currently attached to the application.
Carrie, do we still have that?
Did you bring the insurance?
Actually, our treasurer is going to give that to me, and I was going to bring it down. Make sure it gets attached.
We are having some questions answered because the ordinance changed the insurance requirements. That there's been a question about whether or not that change was necessary. For the last application, we voted to waive the requirements and leave them at the previous pre-ordinance levels. It would be appropriate, I believe, in my opinion, that we do the same for you until we get clarification on what those levels should be. Therefore, unless there's another question.
May I comment on that? So that would revert from 2 million and 4 million aggregate down to 1 million, 2 million aggregate.
Oh, okay. I believe we can offer, the company we work through offers a range of insurance, so we could, whatever is the necessary required amount, we would get.
No reason to make you pay for it until we get clarification.
Okay. And it's actually, that's an online application, so it can be obtained very quickly.
Other questions or comments? Any questions from the public? Okay, I would entertain a motion to approve the event application pending receipt of the insurance.
Mayor, I make a motion to approve the street dance application for the community theater pending the receipt of insurance paperwork.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Moved and seconded to approve the application pending receipt of evidence of insurance. Any further discussion from council? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Peter?
Here, he comes with Eric's phone.
Oh, okay.
He voted aye.
Okay, thank you. Opposed? That motion is carried.
Thank you very much, and I'd like to also invite everybody, if you're not doing anything that evening, they're a lot of fun. So.
Thank you.
Mayor, before we leave this, do please watch for an ordinance change next year pending discussion about insurance. Because next year if you come in late and you haven't got the higher amount of the higher amount is warranted, that'll stop things.
Good to know. Thank you very much.
Okay, our next presentation this evening is from MMIA regarding property coverage insurance.
Is it best if I stand over here for the video?
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
I believe Councilman Brown is always happy if the camera.
Well, good evening, Council and Mayor. I'm Brittany Lawfrey with the Montana Municipal Interlocal Authority. You may be familiar with us because we do provide your self-funded coverage for liability, and we're here today to talk about whether it's in the best interest of the City of Townsend to join and become a member owner of the MMIA property program. As a short history lesson, MMIA was formed 40 years ago by cities and towns for cities and towns. It was during a time nationwide that there was a crisis in the insurance market, and the commercial world said we need to stop losing money, and one of the lines of businesses that they cut were governmental entities. So not only in Montana, but all across the country, self-funded risk pools were formed. So all of us are somewhere in the 40 to 45-year-old range for our risk pools. Townsend has participated in the liability program since inception, and I was asked during one of our trainings, hey, can we get a quote for property, and what does that look like? So I was provided information by the city on your current line items on your property schedule and quoted that. So in your handy little folder, you're going to see 2 quotes, and I'm going to walk you through those. And whatever your preference is, if you'd like to ask questions as we go along, or you'd like to save those to the end, whatever your pleasure, that's your call. On the left-hand side of your handout is a quote from July 2nd. That quote was designed to be an apples-to-apples comparison of your existing coverages. So the exact same line items at the exact same value. And that was for a full year, July 1st to June 30th. The total for that quote was just a little over $15,000. Based on what I was provided for your line items and your current policies, I believe your premium for that same coverage with the commercial world is north of $30,000, so there's pretty substantial savings. Also in your packet on the right-hand side, if you go to the second document in, you'll actually see a list of the items that were provided and what were quoted. So you've got the first, the top page is your real and personal property. So those are things like your buildings, well houses, any, lift stations, etc. The second page is vehicles, and the third is equipment. I'll point out on that top page the property schedule for real and personal property. That's where there's some changes and revisions for the second quote, which is on your right-hand side, which is dated July 21st. So as I reviewed what the city has currently for coverage, I noticed that there was no water tower in your current coverage. Now, your one being built may be on a builder's risk policy, but your existing tower that you were using doesn't have property coverage based on the information that was shared. So I asked how you guys wanted it quoted. They said, let's not worry about the existing tower. Let's just focus on when the new tower comes online, and it may already be, forgive me if it is, what would it cost with the new tower? So the second quote, the one that is July 21st, so that one is based on the addition of the water tower out on Airport Road. And it also has a change where I understand that there's no longer a need to cover the park on Broadway Street. So there was that line item removed and the water tower added for the June 21st quote. So you'll see on each line item for buildings and contents, vehicles, and mobile equipment, it shows a total assessment amount, and then it shows a prorated amount for an August 1st entry. That's basically 11 months worth of coverage. MMIA's policy years run July 1st to June 30th, so if you were to join the property program, this year your policy would run from August 1st to June 30th. Next year you would begin July 1st. By our program agreement, we have to publish our rates no later than April 15th, so you have that information for your budget. So you'll always know, even though your policy starts July 1st, you'll know in the spring what to anticipate for your budget. Again, we're formed by cities and towns for their own benefit, so that's how our policy structures work. In addition to the property coverage, by joining the program, you have access to some additional coverages, cyber, liability, and property coverage. So, property coverage, let's say you have ransomware and it holds your systems hostage, right? That would be your property coverage for cyber. If you had to pay to, be able to get to the data, et cetera, or be able to rebuild that data. And then the liability portion of that cyber is, let's say there's some kind of cyber incident, and now you have notifications to the public, credit monitoring, all of those things. That liability, cyber liability, that's where that policy applies. There's no additional charge for the cyber coverages that's built into the rates for the property program. There's just some additional paperwork to be filled out to secure that. So should Townsend want to move forward with the property coverage, we'd make sure to get you that paperwork so that you can complete it for the cyber coverage. The other additional coverage is our crime and fidelity coverage. So there are requirements for municipal staff and elected officials to be bonded under Montana law. Our crime and fidelity coverage meets that statutory obligation, but also includes some broader coverage that aren't necessarily found through bond. You have a sample of the declarations just on this blue paperwork here. It is a commercial policy we buy on behalf of our membership.